Hey everybody, the question is XRP or Hbar? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video here, so stay tuned what we got going on. So there's a few things that everybody goes back and forth about, but I'm strictly going to be talking about what I see in the charts that I bring up on what I have, and then certain information on each one of them that'll kind of push me from one side to the other on what I would invest to more now. But let's go ahead and bring up one. So we got XRP right here. When was XRP's launch date? 2012. The supply is 100 billion. I'm gonna try to keep this as fast as possible for y'all so y'all can get y'all's information. Settlement speed is 3 to 5 seconds. Cost per transaction, 0.0002 cents. How many transactions per second? Right now, the last I checked, 3,400 transactions per second. All right, I want to do this same setup with Hbar. When was their launch date? Their launch date was in 2019. I think it was September, to be honest with you. All right, supply is 50 billion coins. Settlement speed is 3 to 5 seconds as well. The cost per transaction for Hbar is 0.0001. So it's a little bit cheaper, it looks like. How many transactions per second? The last I checked, it was 10,000 transactions per second. So that's what we have right there for the main stuff. That puts both of our things up here for information. That's how you can kind of look at both of them right now. So one of them's about 7 years older, you might as well say. The other one has half the amount. They're both the same speed. One's a tiny bit cheaper and one can do more transactions than the other. Now for security for each one of them, I didn't go into depths of that, but I do know Hbar is pretty secure, and I also know XRP, from my understanding, hasn't had any issues with their XRPL also. Where you can see on here, I have fib information data points. So this is what I'm going to go into a little bit more for each one of these. So to do that, I kind of got to bring up the chart. I'm going to look over here right now instead of the camera, because I want to look at my chart. So this is XRP. What I did was I came down to I went from the top of the last to the bottom of what it is now. It gives me a fib range. So my lowest price is at 28.7 cents. So what I'm going to do is come over to my XRP and we're going to put that on here. Now we want to bring up Hbar, do the same thing, top to the bottom, 3.58 cents. So we'll go over here to Hbar, put that price in there, 0.0358 cents. What we have on these charts, since I already have Hbar, we'll go ahead and look at that. So the top of our fib, which is a 4.236. Again, if you don't know, my past videos show that I usually go off of fibs. It helps out. It looks like in the past it's shown that it gets pretty close to these numbers. So that's what I'm using these for, and not predicting like all these other channels that go, oh, I can see it going to $6 to $12 or $50 or $5 or whatever. Everybody's all over the place. It's just easier for me to have a constant point, and fibs seem to work out fairly decent. We'll get on Hbar. Hbar looks like the top price off of my fibs would be $2.35. We'll go over to my Hbar, put that price in, and now we want to do that same thing with XRP. We'll come over here. So this shows $7.37. $7.37. All right. So so now we're going to look at from it getting to the low to the high, what's the percentage or X or whatever it's going to be to get to that point. As we're looking at this, so we end up doing the math on this, and I came up with 25.5x. If you bought it at this low, 28.7 cents, it would have to hit to get to the 4.236 fib, 25.5 times that price to get to $7.37, or roughly about. Okay, so that's like saying you put $1,000 in, and 25 times that by 25.5, you turn $1,000 into $25,500. I know I'm basically doing this as a kind of a basic thing, but I'm trying to get you to understand how I'm kind of viewing things. So right now it looks like HBAR is a tiny bit faster and cheaper. Their security is probably about the same. And as of right now, it looks like off the fibs, we can 25.5 times our money if we end up putting $1,000 or $100 or whatever. It comes up to the amount of things. You end up doing $10,000 investment in the XRP, let's say. This turns into $255,000. So let's go on to the HBAR side of it. Bring up HBAR. We'll do the same thing. Go up. I've already got my price for HBAR over here. In order to get this price, the 3.58 cents to $2.35, you're looking at a 65.5x return. So if you end up coming over here, 65.5, that would be turning it into, as you can see, $65,500. If you're looking at the values of each, which I'll bring that down to both of these, as you can see, you can turn $1,000 into one of these if it goes up to the price at the top of the fib, 4.236. Again, I go off the fibs. These are what these two are versus there. We got the XRP army. Again, I've been into XRP since mid 2020, I think it was. I've been in HBAR, well, probably close to the end 2020. So I kind of got them at about the same time frame, and I have bought more as the time's gone in both of these. But as of going right now, you're looking at from the low to the high, these are the percentage you can get. Now if you go to HBAR's price right now, you're at 5 cents, so we're pretty close to this number right here, which is 3.5 cents. And I think I may have made a video on my other channel originally about this, but no one really follows me on this kind of information, which is why I made the second channel, because this is information that I want to get out. I want this information to get into other people's heads, to understand what's going on in the financial side of it. And that's why this channel is here, because I don't want everybody being in debt. I came from basically nothing. My family struggled. My parents got divorced when I was 8. I'm not saying this to have like a sob story, boo-hoo kind of thing, because I've been taught my life that you might not have something, but what you have, someone else probably doesn't have. So don't take the things that you do for granted, because there's always going to be somebody worse off than you are. So that's kind of what I view certain things. My main thing is I want people to understand what we have going on here, and this is a very good opportunity for people. Again, as you can see on the screen, I am not a financial advisor, so please do your own research, due diligence on either one of these or other coins or tokens. I want you to understand that you have the stock market, you have the cryptocurrency market or the digital asset market, you have real estate. People that are necessarily in most of our situations, we don't have money to just dump money into real estate. And stock market, good company, blue chip companies or whatever, are tough to get into as well. You don't have that kind of money to really make a difference. Right now, they haven't implemented a lot of this stuff. So this is like getting into, let's say, Google or Amazon or Tesla, all these companies before they actually hit the market. Yes, cryptocurrency, digital assets are on a market. However, there's no guidelines or rules for the most part for the world. They're getting all this financial stuff together, and ISO 20022, again, that's something you need to look into to find out which are going to be long lasting. And the one that I just did about HBAR, whatever, and ESG and working with carbon and stuff, give that a look. That gave some good information of what we're going to and what coins you may want to look into that are actually on that type of bandwagon, I guess you want to say. So to get back on this whole entire thing, this is what we're kind of looking at. So you're pretty close to the bottom prices on HBAR. If you look over here at XRP, you're pretty much double, you might as well say. So it's pretty close to double right now. So from this point to there, it's probably half as much, but you still can make a pretty good dent. However, that's going on. What I was just saying though is if XRP's price is already double, this is not quite doubled. This is probably what, 1.5. So you can make a bigger return on investment, ROI, on Hbar. Regardless of how you feel about either project, I think they're both doing great things. I think they're also both going to be here long term. And I think whichever one you get into is a great situation to put yourself into. You got to understand, like, how are you planning on doing it? Is this something that you plan on holding these for 10, 15, 20 years and just whatever happens? If that's the case, it doesn't matter. If you're wanting to find out which one you should do for a shorter term, which when I mean shorter term, I mean 2 to 5 years. I mean, it's kind of looking like Hbar from these numbers, but I understand a lot of people, they're throwing smoke up everybody's asses, basically, excuse my language, of going, oh, it could be $500. And XRP could be $500, just like Hbar could be $15 or $5 or whatever it is. I don't know how the market's going to play out. All I do know is what my charts are telling me. And again, I go off of fibs, and they're telling me that these would probably be at the top of the bull market for the most part, the one coming up. And this is how I'm viewing it. Y'all also know, if I get out, my goal is when it gets to the last all-time high, close to it, that's when I'm going to get my initial profit out, or original investment out, sorry. I always do that. And then it's free money at that point, so it doesn't matter how long I decide to hold it for. It's hopefully going to keep on going up in value. Now, other channels will also tell you, go ahead and sell, towards the top of this bull run, so when it goes back down, you can buy more, so it'll go up again. Who's to say that it does come down from that point? Especially if you're looking at utility, we really haven't had a utility bull run before. Who's saying that these ones that, okay, it hits the bull run, you're at the top, you go ahead and sell them like, yeah, I'm going to put all this money into the side, or I'm going to put in real estate or something, or whatever you plan on doing, and then wait for it to come down, and then I'm going to get the money back out, and I'm going to buy at a cheaper price. Who's saying that it does come down to that? It might not even, it might come down a little bit, but you might expect, let's say, XRP, let's say it goes to $7 or whatever, you sell out. Who's to say that it might go down to, like, let's say $5.50? You're expecting to go back down to like $1. It never gets there. It shoots back up to $500 or $50 or $100 or whatever it ends up being. Well, now all the coins that you sold at the top because they told you to go ahead and sell, and then so you can rebuy when it comes back down for the next bull market, you don't know if it's going to be there. For all we know, this could be the last true bull market, but they can also sit there and go, by the time the end of the next bull market or right before, who knows, that people like us can't get into it. You'll end up having to be an accredited investor, just like the stock market. And if that's the case, that puts a lot of us out, which they're already talking about them upping those limits. So right now it's like you got to have a value or worth $1 million without your residency, what you live in, or you have to make like $250,000 a year for 2 to 3 years in a row. They can push those up to $10 million worth, and they could push the other thing up to, let's say, $500,000 a year for like 3 years. So that would kick every single one of us out. So you ended up selling, you get your money or whatever out. That's great. I'm glad you made some money. But now you can't get back in per se, because what did that money actually make you? Did it make you $10 million? For the most of us, probably not, because if they up that to $10 million, by the next bull run, you're going to have to figure out how to get that up to $10 million value. I know I'm kind of going into more of a rant on this, but I'm trying to get y'all to see that people saying this stuff on the internet, it might come to pass. It might be the thing, but I'm trying to be honest with you guys about the numbers I'm seeing, about what can be there, what profits you can make. But if you end up selling completely out so you can get more money in more coins or tokens in the next bear market, it might bite you in the ass. My personal opinion is get your initial investment out. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what I'm doing. I'm going to get my original investment out, maybe a little bit of profit. If it gets to certain points on these numbers, like it goes to the highest fibs, 4.236, I'm going to figure out which ones I want to sell and how many of each I want to sell those to completely be debt free, and then I'm holding the rest probably long term, because if they change the rules on me, I won't have any debt at that point. I'll have investments, so my value is going to go up. If the bear market doesn't show up, then that means the value of my investments are going to go up. And I think that's a better situation to be in. Now, if the whole entire thing tanks and does go into a bear market or whatever, you're still debt free. At that point, you would be debt free. Your stuff is paid off. Now you can work, and any money or job or business or whatever you're into, you can take that side money, because now you don't have a mortgage that might be $2,000 or $3,000, $5,000, whatever the thing is. You can take that money or half of that money and start putting it into the bear market as it goes down, dollar cost averaging. And I think that'll be a better play, or at least for me, I believe that's going to be a better play, because you got stuff that's going to go long term and it can help you in the long run. So with all that being said, looking at these numbers that I just finished doing and looking off the charts and the fibs, it looks like it's a better choice for HBAR to be bought at this particular price point. So with that being said, I hope that was some good information. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. For those 7 awesome subscribers, I appreciate you more than you know, and we will see y'all in the next one. Thanks.